everyone, my name is Brandon. Welcome to my BookTube channel. Over the past 3 years, I have been slowly diving into my love for reading again. I have been diving into the books that you see behind me on my shelves here, and I thought it was finally time to make a YouTube channel to connect with more people, share stories, talk about books, and just get to know more and more people in the community. When I was a kid, I was such a huge book nerd. I was reading books like Percy Jackson. I fell in love with A Series of Unfortunate Events. And my favorite series that I loved as a kid was the City of Bones series by Cassandra Clare. And I don't know why, but for about 10 years, I fell out of love with reading. I was hanging out with more friends, and towards the end of high school, beginning of college, I was going out to parties and drinking more with people, and I found myself in toxic friend groups, and I just wasn't happy with where life was heading. I fell into a huge, deep depression, and I was dealing with a lot of anxiety. So about 4 years ago, I made the decision with my husband to move to Arizona, where we have been since then, and it has been the best decision that I have made in my life. I highly recommend it to someone who may be suffering through a period of time that they feel super stuck in or aren't happy with where they are, who they're surrounded by. It just feels so good to kind of pull yourself out of such a dark spot that you find yourself in and kind of be able to reinvent yourself and kind of start over from scratch. I mean, I know and I understand that's kind of hard to completely start over from scratch, but it just kind of feels very liberating to be able to kind of pick up and kind of make yourself who you want to be again. So ever since moving to Arizona, I've been able to kind of find my footing, and I've done a lot of trial and errors, but I have found a life that I love out here. And about 3 years ago, I wanted to find a hobby that I loved passionately and that I can kind of invest a lot of time in. So I remembered back in college, I read a book called Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and I remember absolutely loving it. I don't know why I didn't continue it, but I thought, what better way than to dive into a book that I remember loving? So I picked up the series again, and at that point there were 5 books available in the series, and I absolutely loved that book series. I ate it up. It was so good. The ending of Golden Sun was absolutely wild, and I just catapulted through that series. It was so good. I started meeting people who loved reading the same books as me. We started talking about books together. I started doing buddy reads with friends. Eventually, over the past couple of years, we started a couple of book clubs with friends, which has been truly so much fun. And it's also been just so much fun reading different books that I would have never picked up, but are recommended by people in the book club that we end up reading. So that's been super cool, kind of diving into books that I would have never picked up on my own. So that's been really fun. About 1.5 years ago, I also made the decision to make a book Instagram account, and I have absolutely loved connecting with the people that I've met on there. I love talking about books with people. I love nerding out and taking book pictures to post and share with everyone, and it's just such a good community to be a part of. We're all there just rooting for each other. It's just so much fun seeing people enjoy their own book journeys and be a part of it. Talk about books that you have common interests in, and it's just so much fun also sharing the books that I'm reading and sharing the books that I love, and kind of not convincing people to read them, but telling people why I do love the books, and then finding those same people that do love those books in those genres and connecting about those books with them. So the book community on Instagram has been so much fun to be a part of. I've loved being on book Instagram, and I thought, why not start a book YouTube channel next? And I was super nervous to get on camera and share my voice and talk and put myself out there. But I thought, why not get started and just make the video, and if I like it and I think that it's something that I want to pursue, then I would post it and kind of go from there. So I kind of wanted to end the video talking about some of my favorite genres and books in those genres, so that way you can kind of learn what to expect on my channel. And I just cannot wait to talk about books with you all and dive into some journeys together. So starting off with possibly my favorite book genre is the grimdark fantasy. One of my favorite books I have read recently is The Gardens of the Moon, the Malazan series by Steven Erikson. I am currently on book 3 in the series, but I'm absolutely loving these books. These books are so good. They are so gripping, they are so dark, and they are possibly the most challenging thing that I have ever read, but the reward is well worth it. These books are so good. I highly recommend it if you do like grimdark, or if you just like epic fantasy books. You'll absolutely lose yourself in these books, and it's just so fun trying to piece together the story and the world as you go along for the journey. Now, another book series that I've loved is the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. These books are absolutely amazing. This is probably my second favorite book that I have ever read. John Gwynne just writes characters like no other. You fall in love with them, you're following them along on their journeys. The characters in this book will be pulling at your heartstrings, and there are some gut-wrenching moments that just absolutely rip your heart from your chest. This book is just so good, and I highly recommend it. John Gwynne is like top tier fantasy, and these books are just so good. Now, I don't read a lot in the sci-fi genre, but my favorite book series does live within that category, and that is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. These books are so good. If you have not read it, I recommend you drop what you're doing right now and go pick up these books. They're so good. There are currently 6 books in the series, and you just see Pierce Brown grow as a writer as you go along for the journey. The books get darker, they get grimmer, and you just absolutely fall in love with the characters in these books. You start to question some of the main characters' choices as well as you read along in the journey. These books will just always have a special place in my heart. They're just so good. I don't think that anything could ever replace them. All right, now another book genre that I do love to dive into is the romantasy genre. And one of my favorite book series in that genre is the Spark of the Everflame series by Penn Cole. Penn Cole just is such an amazing author, and these books are so good. If you did like Throne of Glass and the Sarah J. Maas books, I highly recommend these as well. These books are just such a slow burn in all aspects. Slow burn romance, slow burn world building, slow burn story building, and these books just continue to grow and get better and better as you read along. These are just so good, and if you are a fan of the romantasy genre, I highly recommend you go pick these up. Now, another romantasy book series that I love is the Green Creek series by T.J. Klune. These books are so good. I got these editions yesterday by Eternal Embers. They are just so warm and cozy feeling. Has some beautiful inside artwork too, which completely matches the vibe of the book series as well. These books are so good. It's such an amazing found family book series, and sometimes I just think about picking it up again for just such a feel-good book. I am so excited to start this book YouTube channel and talk about books with you all. I can't wait to connect with more people and get to meet some of you and talk about some of our favorite books. And I hope that some of the books I shared with you today are some of your favorites as well. And I hope I have convinced you to maybe pick up some few books that I recommended. And I love to hear recommendations from people as well. And yeah, just super excited to be on this journey, and I can't wait to share more videos with you all. All right, have a good day.